Hello everyone, it's Manga. So we're going to talk about chapter 181 of Seven Deadly Sins. Not much happened about it. It's just more about Zealotras and that he's probably actually Zealotras. There's no conspiracy. It's just said that the Ten Commandments have been resurrecting people who have a vengeance for certain things. And he's like, oh, I have a vengeance for myself. I think maybe he's lying because otherwise, why would he be resurrected? I think there's a reason why he came into being, and he's probably going to cause some trouble later on. Is kind of my theory. But right now, he's acting very joyful and very charismatic. And so we'll see how he ends up, but they basically have a conversation, and Elizabeth is kind of happy and is like, yeah, this is the real Zealotras, and then they kind of just joke around. He says how he's human, how he couldn't resist like a good pie, and that's why he got sickened by poison. And it kind of goes, I just want to talk about, kind of goes to just because I've been talking to people like this recently, to kind of conspiracy theorists where they think that humans are smarter than they actually are. So when these big people make these mistakes, they believe, oh, there's no way they could have done that. It has to be this. So it goes to show that great men are no greater than us, and they can still be tricked and spoiled by these random events, because really people aren't thinking about that. People aren't like these mega geniuses where they always have all these schemes and plans on their head. So I just wanted to mention that because sometimes this is like an event that people would make a conspiracy theory about in real life if it happened all of a sudden. So like Zealotras, it's no wonder, like, you can still be poisoned even if you're a great man. It doesn't really mean anything. A great man is no different than a lesser man. You're just more well known. So, at least in our terms of our definition of society, so that's how it works. So, yeah, not much besides that. And then basically the end reveal how they're like, Meliodas isn't dead. It's like, really? I didn't expect that. No, I knew that all along, obviously. But it seems like he's in his memory still about the dark hole day where everything died. And the interesting thing about the end I need to talk about is that he saved Elizabeth apparently from that town. Elizabeth was probably born there, and these kind of questions like, why wasn't the king there? There wasn't mentioned that this was probably not the king's daughter. I don't know if it said it's a legitimate king's daughter, but I don't know how she could be the king's daughter unless he slept with someone else and that person lived there, and that would maybe make a bit more sense. But the king wasn't there, obviously, in the city, or else he would have been dead. And so he kind of brings Elizabeth the baby, which now this kind of gives more development for me. So now I can kind of see the connection between Elizabeth and Meliodas a bit more now. Before, I didn't really like the relationship. This one key just made me like the relationship just a bit more, because I thought Elizabeth was just a very shallow character, a very useless character, and that stereotypical anime woman who couldn't do really anything. But this kind of like tie back to the past kind of makes me understand why Meliodas could have these potential feelings for her and has like this like bond with her, because he's known her all along. So I think that little details just made me all of a sudden like this relationship a bit more. And just more details like that will probably make me think Elizabeth isn't a shallow character and just more developed. Things like that really helped me. So I love the ending just for that. And more about Zealotras' past and how he met Meliodas. So very good chapter and all. It was very slow, so that's all I had to talk about. So I'm going to do 7 Deadly Sins reviews every week. And so if you like what I have to say, please comment below. Please like and subscribe to support me. And thank you, everyone. And see you out.